Good afternoon, baseball fans. I should say maybe it's good evening. It's 6-ish. So is that evening-ish? I think that's evening-ish. So good evening, baseball fans. It is Sunday, May 20th. I'm Suzy. That is Tom. This is Bourbon and Baseball Astros edition. And we are recording relatively early because it was a day game. Astros got the dub, people. Astros got the dub. That is a series win, and we like that. So before I go any further, though, this is a rated R podcast. I'm going to give you the warning. This is a rated R podcast for all of the four-letter words and probably inappropriate adult humor because that's just who I am as a person. So if you don't want your children to learn any new four-letter words or you yourself are uncomfortable with the four-letter words, you should probably turn this podcast off because this is not for you. I have another Astros podcast that I record that is all the PG-13. You can go find that on the Top Fan Rivalry Network. That is all of the PG-13, okay? You can find PG-13 Suzy over there on the Astros in Orbit podcast. This is rated R, Suzy. Much lengthier show. I was about to say something else, but we'll save that for later. Much lengthier show over there on the Top Fan Rivalry, Astros in Orbit. Use code SuzyQ, SUZYQ, to get access to that. It's actually on YouTube for free now, though. Give you a little taste. We're like drug dealers. Give you a little taste, get you hooked, and then make you pay. So that's how we do over here. However, Tom, we got the series dub. But like I said on the PSF app, the Astros made it way harder than it needed to be to get this dub, right? This should have been easy. We should have been low stress. We shouldn't have needed JoshHader to come in to this game. We did. Am I wrong?
I think so. I think
Oh, good.
it was a
Okay.
4-run lead. I think that's a safe situation, barely, but a safe situation. That's giving JoshHader all the room to have an issue and still get in and out of it. Would we have liked to have scored a ton of more runs so that didn't happen? Absolutely. Left a lot of guys on base today. Hopefully that means they're going to score all of them tomorrow in the start of a very big series that's going to go a long way to seeing where this division is going to go.
Tom, no, you know better than that, sir. With Alex Bregman still in the 4-hole, that's come on. And Abreu coming back, really. Let's temper our expectations.
With any luck, Bregman moves down a little bit. Bases loaded, cleanup guy comes up. It's Jeremy Pena, or it's Mauricio Dubon, or it's JakeMeyers. We're all hitting really right now.
Okay, let's get into the A series. And then we'll talk about the upcoming series. We'll get into it, guys. We'll get into it. So JV goes against RossStripling the first game, and RossStripling is dealing literally perfect through 3. Legitimately perfect through 3. JV is also pretty good, but RossStripling perfect through 3, and I'm all, oh, good. That's love that for us. Is this what's gonna happen again? And the 4th inning, Astros said, okay, JK, let's get into it. Let's do the things that we know we can do against RossStripling, people. If you guys aren't aware, RossStripling is the pitcher who, when he was on the Dodgers, said that he would throw at any of our guys. Sure. Love that for you, RossStripling. Consequently, RossStripling is now on the IL. We didn't put him there, but apparently he's on the IL for 15 days with some sort of arm soreness, shoulder soreness, forearm soreness, some sort of something. And that's just what I like to call karmic retribution. Just saying, Stripling. Maybe we just don't run our mouths. Also, Oakland fans, the fuck are we doing? The actual fuck are we doing? Why are we booing Jose Altuve? What's happened? What? Come on now. We all thought you were smarter than that. But no, you're out here booing Jose Altuve? Stop it. Stop it. I'm going to call out all the fan bases. All the fan bases that are dumb enough to boo Jose Altuve. So we win that game 6-1 at that final score, I believe. Yes, 6-1.
You say the Astros didn't put RossStripling on the IL. I think that 4th inning absolutely did. Because
You think?
10 men came to the plate.
Okay. I'm saying that it wasn't like a
No, nobody
like a
hit
ball
him.
come
Yeah.
back at him, like that's what I meant. Ball
Yeah.
come back at him. Wow, Suzy, good job. Words are hard. Like I said, top of the 4th, Altuve breaks up the perfect game. Because really and truly, I was sitting there, no, this is not happening to us again with a subpar pitcher. No. But both of those hits, Altuve's hit and Tucker's hit, was like a tiny check swing. It wasn't even a whole thing. It was a check swing. Altuve swung at a ball that was outside the zone, and they both get on. And then Jordan doubles on a pitch at his nose, maybe. It was very high. It's very high. And a tiny piece of me felt bad for RossStripling, but the bigger petty bitch side of me said, I don't fucking feel bad. And then Breggy singled, thank Jesus. He's not wearing his headband though, so I don't know what's all going on with that. And then Paney gets a force out. John Singleton singles. JakeMeyers made me say all the nice things and hit a 3-run bomb, and we love that. We love that. Do you know how much I love this? I want you to know that I am an original Jacob Myers, Jacob Berkshire Myers stan. If you're on audio only, go to the YouTubes. I'm currently holding a Tri-City Valley Cats Jacob Myers. It literally says Jacob Myers on here. It doesn't say Jake. It says Jacob Myers. And then a Jacob Myers 2021 Sugarland Skeeters baseball card. Okay. So when all of y'all want to come at me and say that I hate Jake, I do not. I was on the original Jake Myers train. And I actually did have a signed Jake Myers rookie card that I gave away to the biggest Jake Myers fan ever. Just know, again, I was one of the original Jake Myers fans, but he disappointed me hardcore. There's that. Anyhow, Jake is hitting. We love that. Chaz also hit in that inning as well. Chaz, I love you, but I need you to get going, sir. I need you to get going very quickly. Very quickly. But the rest of that game is excitementless. Free of excitement is not the word that I
Same.
want to use. There was a situation in the bottom of the 6th where Tucker was up to bat, Tuve got on, and Tuve got caught stealing. And the note here is why Tuve, why in big bold letters. Because no one wants to pitch to Tucker anymore. He's basically getting walked every single time. And I think it was like a 3-1 count that Tuve. Why Tuve? Just we love you, but your base running, man. Your base running kills me. Like full on
I had to
kills
watch
me.
that play a couple times because I was on the PSF app with the Juice Box Blondes, and I believe they had a hit and run on because, like you said, 3-1 count, good hitters count. You don't want to walk them, put 2 on for Jordan. I think that came from the dugout, and credit to Oakland, they recognized it, threw over, and got him.
Okay, fine. If we think that's what's happening, I guess we'll
Because,
put the
like
onus
you
on.
said, initially when I saw it, I was like, "Where the fuck's he going? Let Tuck hit. You're good." And I think they've had a hit and run on.
But see, unfortunately, I would believe you, or I would be more apt to believe that in any other situation
If it
besides
wasn't
Tuve.
Altuve.
If it
If it
wasn't
wasn't
Tuve,
Altuve. You're right.
I would any other hitter, I'd be like, yes, okay, for sure. But Tuve has had way too many of these for me to not put the onus on Altuve. Don't get me wrong, I love him. I do. I love him. But man, these base running things, golly. If it was any other player, he would be getting slammed. If this was Jake, or if this was Chaz, or if this was Yiner, oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine the outrage? Imagine the outrage if this was any other player besides Altuve. He would be crucified. Absolutely crucified. So I quit taking notes in the bottom of the 7th apparently because I was tired. So I don't know. I no longer know what happens after that. And then the second game, I just didn't take notes because that second game was dumb. And then I would have had all of the notes as in what the fuck is this strike zone? I think that would have been the entire I think that would have been my entire thing on that was just what the fuck is this strike zone? This strike zone is trash. Any other way that you would like to phrase that, that's what that would have been because there was no rhyme or reason for this zone. No, I take that back. There was a rhyme or reason. It was basically to screw with the Astros. There was a couple of calls that went the Astros way, but the large majority of these, Spencer Arrighetti was just getting squeezed. And some of the walks that he gave up, some of the hits he gave up, unfortunately, was directly because of the stupid zone. Because he was making his pitches on the edges, and if it was, like an actual umpire that could do his job, it would have been a strike. It'd been an out as opposed to a hit the next, like, 2 pitches in after that. So, unfortunately, we lose that game. Wasn't great. Mason Miller came in. We got Mason Millered. We got soul snatched. And really and truly, the Baltimore Orioles will just have a field day with him at the trade deadline. That will be hope you look good in orange,
If
Mason
they
Miller.
make him available, they will legit get, in my mind, 2 blue chip prospects because he is so good. He's probably going to be the best closer in baseball, if not by the end of the season, definitely next season.
Absolutely. I 1000% concur. And the fact that he can dot up 102, and then say, "Oh, all right, I guess you're sitting on my heater? Here's a slider, 86 miles an hour that I can also dot up." Like, it's gross. He's gross, and I say that with the utmost respect and admiration possible because he just makes people look silly. Although he did give up runs against the Rockies of all team. The Rockies,
The
you
Rockies,
know,
for whatever reason, are sneaky good right now.
it's Brent
Ask
Doyle.
Philly.
It's Brent Doyle and Ryan McMahon doing work over there. Anyways, he gave up his first set of earned runs, I think, since March. It's insane. Known fastball hitters. The Rockies doing work. Doing work. Took a series from the Phils. White hot Phils. Good night. So baseball is baseballing. That's what we call that. This third game, Ronel Blanco, back from suspension. Thank Jesus. My ace, your ace. And if he's not your ace, he should be. People, he should be, because the work that he is doing, 7 innings, 1 run. I think it was 103 pitches today, 102. Regardless, it was 100 plus pitches today. Was
104.
104. Okay, thank you. Was basically just sitting down hitters. Unfortunately, made a mistake to Max Schumann, 94 mile an hour middle sinker. They're going to hit that. They're going to hit that. It's going to go far. It did. Went very far for a home run. And that was the only run that he gave up. And we loved it. We loved it. Our offensive explosion happened, unfortunately, again, all in 1 inning. We only apparently like to score in the 1 inning, and we do not like to get anybody else home. Nope. We just all of the scoring in the 1 inning, and we just want to leave all of the bases loaded all of the other times. Alex Bregman did that. Yiner did that. Did Yiner do that twice this game?
I think he did.
Am I remembering correctly?
I do believe he did.
I hate that for him. I absolutely hate that for him because I know, that he's better than this. And I think he knows that he's better than this, but the league has figured him out. Now he needs to figure out the league again. And it's a whole cycle. And I need him to get on that. Need him to get on that, especially coming into this next series with the Seattle Mariners. Guys, we could have gained some ground because both the Rangers and the Mariners lost yesterday. That's the day that, of course, we decide that we also would like to lose. So, standings, this is Tom's favorite portion of the program. In the AL West, the Seattle Mariners that obviously we are coming against are 28 and 26 right now. And we are 3.5 games back of them. The Texas Rangers, 3 games back of the Mariners, 25 and 29. So half a game back from the Rangers. Oakland is 22 and 33. And Angels are 20 and 33 because, of course, the Angels are 20 and 33. And, of course, we had to lose that series to the Angels because, that's what we like to do here. So this 4-game set that we are starting tomorrow, there is no off days. We go to Seattle, 4 games, no off day, and go immediately into a series. Who did I say that we immediately go into the series with? It wasn't St. Louis. We end with St. Louis. Minnesota.
The Twins. Yeah.
The Twins and the Rally Sausage, man. We'll see. We'll see if the Rally Sausage made the road trip. If you guys don't know about the Rally Sausage, go check that out on Bourbon and Baseball. But essentially, there's a whole Rally Sausage. That is their home run stick, for lack of a better word. That is what they do. They throw a big Rally Sausage at whoever just hit the home run. And it didn't make a road trip. They got swept at home by the Yankees. It did not make the road trip to the Nats. They had it FedExed overnight. They got, I think, blown out in the first Nats game, the Nats Twins game. It got overnighted to them. Oh, by Cleveland. So they got swept by the Yankees. They got swept by the Guardians. They got blown out in the first game of the Nats series. And then the Rally Sausage got overnighted to them. And they ended up taking 2 from the Nats. Power of the sausage, baby.
That's going to be one nasty traveled sausage by the end of the season.
It's only weird if it doesn't work. That's all I'm saying. That and Cleveland, shout out to their social media admin because they had photoshopped a picture of the Rally Sausage in a trash can. And if you did not look very closely, you would have thought that the Guardians threw away the Rally Sausage. Sneaky good. Whoever did that. Because I just scrolled on by. I didn't click on the actual picture to see. And then I clicked on the actual picture and I saw that, oh yeah, no, it is photoshopped, but it was just well enough done that if you were just scrolling on by, you would have thought, dang, Guardians are hardcore. I wasn't aware that the Guardians were hardcore. They are. They're throwing rally sausages away. Anyhow, so Twins and Carlos Correa comes home, and then St. Louis, and then an off day. So we have no off days, which is important. And why is that important, Tom?
Injuries,
Injuries. Who's injured, Tom? Who's injured?
pitchers.
All of them pitchers, not all pitchers. Unfortunately, in Jose Urquidy's case, he was doing a rehab start in Sugarland, or was it in Corpus?
Sugarland.
Sugarland. And in the fourth inning, had a weird thing. The trainers come out. He tries to throw like a test pitch in. He could barely lob it and comes off the mound in the fourth. It's not great. We're like, okay, it's all right. Sure. It's not great, but not horrible. Maybe, hopefully. I don't know. And then today it comes out that Christian Javier did not throw his bullpen, his scheduled bullpen, because he has elbow discomfort. Is that what that tweet said?
I thought it was forearm tightness.
They all really mean the same thing, right?
They do.
Forearm
Forearm
discomfort.
discomfort. They
That's
put
what
them
that is.
together.
Forearm discomfort. It is day to day. That's great. Love that. Guys,
If it was bad,
it's not great.
they probably put him on the DL immediately so they could call somebody up.
The IL?
So, yeah, IL, DL. It was the DL once upon a time. It's now the IL. So the fact that it's day to day, it might be something that in a couple days they go, okay, let's try again, and then insert him back into the rotation.
You think that's it? I don't know if that's it or not.
Probably best case scenario.
We're gonna hope that's it. In the meantime, we did sign a pitcher from where did we sign the pitcher from? Eric Lauer. And we signed Eric Lauer, left-handed pitcher. Eric Lauer's deal is for $1.5 million. If he makes the MLB roster, he has opt-outs on July 1st and August 1st. And he has been assigned to AAA Sugarland. So he started the season in the Pirates farm system with the AAA. And then I want to say he was also in the Brewers system. Decent pitcher.
He's been with Milwaukee the last 4 seasons.
We would need to clear a 40-man spot for Eric Lauer. That is not great. I guess we could move. Who could we move onto the IL for that? Because
One of those guys we just named.
that's not great, guys.
Last year, he was 4-6 with a 4.30 ERA for the Brewers. I'm sorry, 6.56 ERA for the Brewers. Historically, he's a 4.3 guy. So sounds like an innings eater type dude.
Yeah, the hits just keep on coming. Some good news though, LuisGarcia does seem to be on track to maybe make his debut before the All-Star break. Not much before. We couldn't call up LuisGarcia now. That's
like
not
July
happen.
15.
Yeah. But before the All-Star break, we think maybe. That guy, the coffee guy, Lance McCullers, is throwing some bullpens, dotting up sinkers. But I'm putting in the Forrest Whitley, firmly in the Forrest Whitley bucket. That he's gotten me excited way too often and disappointed me way too much. Firmly in that bucket. So I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. What? Until Lance McCullers is fully back on the roster, and I'm giving him 3 starts. After 3 starts, then I'm gonna get excited.
I like I like that the options are there where another team that doesn't have this kind of depth, you're calling up a dude from AAA, you're calling up a dude from AA, you're trading for a guy. In our case, in the Astros case, they're going to have 1 or 2 of these guys to be able to call on, hopefully before the trade deadline, so that you get an understanding of what you have, what you need, and they may not need a starter. Where I think if anybody else lost a CJ for any length of time, lost an Urquidy for any length of time, you're probably trading for a starter at the All-Star break.
Yep, JoseAbreu is coming back, guys. Apparently, according to the quotes, he's in a good headspace, and he wasn't in a good headspace before. I'm very wholly frustrated with the entire situation, and I realized that he voluntarily went down there, and I guess they can't really make him stay down there. So, Tom, why don't you tell the people your theory on why he's coming back in the Seattle series?
So this is not necessarily a theory, as it's more like what you as an Astros fan should want if you want all the John Singleton. Because there are people that are like, look, strap Jose Abreu to a rocket. I don't care what you owe him. Just get him as far away from my baseball team as you possibly can. And I'll buy another beer or hot dog or jersey so we can pay for the money that you owe Jose Abreu because I don't want him on my baseball team. So for those people, I say that you should want Jose Abreu to come back as fast as he can and fail at the major league level. Because the longer you play the West Palm Beach game, the minor league rehab start thing, you still have to bring him back at some point and say, okay, let's try it. Wouldn't you rather say and do that now before the All Star break than let it linger, have him clouding over this team? Jose Abreu looms. What are you going to do? I think it's probably there's no good spot where you bring him in and if it's a bad team, oh, we're going to put Jose Abreu in there and they lose, you're upset. If it's a good team, we definitely shouldn't play Jose Abreu. We need our best roster. So there's no good spot to play him. There's no scenario where anyone's going to be excited about him being in the lineup, literally anybody but him. But the Astros are going to be committed to this until the very end, till there's absolutely no way that this guy can impact this ball club. And you should want that sooner rather than later.
Oh, he can impact the ball club. For that, I am 1000% certain that he can impact a ball club. Tom, come on now.
Positively impact. I'm sorry. That's a big
That's
word that I
not
left out of there.
that's a big jump. That's a big jump. Positively impact the ball club is a bigger jump. Listen, this whole sunk cost fallacy, the we paid him so we have to play him is just I get it. I understand. It's not my money. I know. But the fact that we have been scratching and clawing our way into this semi winning ish record without him should tell you something that maybe, just maybe, okay, fine, bring Ray back, okay. Then maybe we sit him. Maybe we sit him against the left-handed pitching and but see John Singleton has reverse splits though. He hits left-handers better than right-handers. So it's just so that's just silly. That's
There's
just
no place to put him. There's
he's
no
not
scenario. I don't care if he bats 1,000 against that pitcher. People are going to be like, Big John would have did it. Wouldn't matter.
not gonna lie. When Mauricio Dubon played first base, like the one time John Singleton sat and Mauricio Dubon played first base and he made an error, I legitimately I think I wrote down Big John would have had that. And I'm not saying that just to be spiteful. I honestly believe that a first baseman that plays at first base all day, every day would not have made that the same error that utility gold glover Mauricio Dubon made. Don't get it twisted, people. I understand he's very good at various spots. However, he's got to do all of the things in all of the places. Okay. What is it? Jack of all trades, master at none. That is what Mauricio Dubon is. That is what he is. And John Singleton, I legitimately don't think would have made the same error. I think it was like a oh, what was it? It was like a
The
pop.
ball
It
was hit
wasn't a
to
pop up.
no, it was a ground ball hit to first base. It ticks off his glove and goes to Altuve. So then he goes tried to go back and cover first base, but he can't get there in time.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was legitimately something that if Big John was over there, I don't I don't think the error would have happened. And just like today, there was an error in left field where Mauricio Dubon was. And if Chaz was out there, if Loper Fido was out there, an everyday outfield again, same thing. It would not have happened. I understand Dubon's bat needs to get in the lineup. Okay, I get it. But again, it's day game after day game. Jose Altuve is getting up there in age. Altuve could have sat today. Altuve could have sat today. Had the day off. We're going straight into a 4-game series with Seattle. We need him fresh. Could have put Dubon at second. Could have gotten today. Could have started Loperfido. And then when they switched pitchers and went to a right-hander, or excuse me, a left-hander, then Chaz could have come in. We could have brought in both of these. players that excel, quote unquote, Chaz, I'm looking at you, sir, against other-handed pitcher. And maybe then we could have gotten Loperfido into a ball game. But Loperfido has now sat the
Too
Angel
long.
series, the A series. What are we doing? It's
Probably not going to play him against Seattle.
I don't think there's a probably. I think it's a definitely won't play him. So when JoseAbreu gets reactivated, I thought it was going to be Kessinger, honestly. But it looks like it's going to be Loperfido because he's just languishing on the freaking bench. That boy needs at bats. So
And
you're
it's got
just
to be
wasting.
tough to hit 333 with a bomb. And I don't know what more you can ask him to do to justify playtime. And he's not going to get it.
And again, like I said, I love Chaz. I love Chaz. You all know how much I love Chaz McCormick. But there are some of these games that Chaz McCormick should not have started. It should have been Joey Loperfido out there against the right-handed pitching. Joe Espada, come on now. I had such high hopes. I had the high hopes for you. Are you
And
doing the whole? Are you doing the whole? He's a veteran. He's gonna play. He is. He is. He is.
but for me, the Joe Espada thing that I think nobody talks about because he's been on this team for so long. This is Joe Espada's first managerial job ever. So for him, I think some of the pressure that he faces is I don't have the resume to be able to say. This is why I say what I say. And I think until he builds that up, you're going to see him do stuff like this that probably don't make a whole lot of sense to us because we're looking at numbers and matchups and things of that nature where he's got to deal with the egos of the veterans.
Okay. I get it. I get it. I don't like it. I get it. It looks like I said, Fromber against Bryce Miller. Bryce Miller is the only pitcher that we hit really well last time Seattle and the Astros met up. But we only hit him at the tail end of his run. I think all of those runs that we put on him were in the 5th or 6th inning. Fromber versus Bryce Miller. And Fromber, I'm gonna warn you, Fromber. I'm warning you. I personally, obviously, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna just scream into the void of this podcast. Okay. But just take your ego out of it. Take your ego out of it and just throw the fucking pitches. Just throw the pitches that people tell you to throw. That's all you need to do, sir. That's all you need to do. Don't think that you know better. Just throw the pitches. That's all I'm saying.
Gun to your head, who catches him tomorrow?
I think they're going to go back to Victor. And that is my conspiracy theory, is that he doesn't respect Yiner. Obviously, he doesn't respect Yiner because that blow up, you saw him shaking off Yiner multiple times again. And a little bit of that is on Yiner being that young catcher. But I just want to point out, I've been saying this since last season when nobody wanted to play Yiner with Fromber and JV. They had Maldi back there. And everyone's, oh, it's the veteran leadership. It's the intangibles. Maldi this, Maldi that. How is he supposed to learn? Maldi was supposed to teach him. Maldi maybe taught him. I don't fucking know. But it didn't look like he taught Yiner anything. And now we have this. And foul territory. Our friends over at Foul Territory, AJ Przinsky, who we all know loves the Astros, flat out said this. And I'm like, thank you. This is what I've been saying for a fucking year now. That this is on this organization for not forcing the issue and saying, okay, Maldi, you're not going to be here next season. So you're going to have to force the issue and say, hey, in this situation, you need to get tough with him. In this situation, you need to say, I'm the catcher. I'm the boss. I'm the captain out here. This is my ship now. It's that scene in the Tom Hanks movie. That's what Yiner needs to do. But Yiner's not going to do that because he's the young catcher, because he doesn't have the street cred or whatever. Now, I will say, though, he has caught JV multiple times now. And JV has gone as far as complimenting him with the media and saying how hard Yiner's working. And I don't know, maybe JV needs to be the guy to go to Fromber and be like, bro, stop it.
I really want to know who's calling these pitches. That's what I want to know. I need the 30 for 30. I need the, I don't know, somebody to find out where these pitch calls are coming from. Because if we're shaking off Yiner and Yiner's calling these pitches, that's one thing. If we're shaking off Yiner and these pitches are coming from the dugout, that is an entirely different monster. And this goes past Yiner and past the relationships. This is all the way to pitching coach, manager, whatever. And there needs to be an intervention there Like,
Absolutely.
can't have it. Cannot have it.
Absolutely. Dana Brown, after that Angels blow up, came out and said, "It's being handled. It's handled, it's squashed." And it was obvious that he wasn't gonna answer any more questions about it. And we know that we're not gonna get any of those questions answered by, like, Julia or the booth. So, at this point in time, we just get to speculate and come up with our wild theories, but from the outside looking in, it legitimately looks like, Fromber needed to be disciplined. Kangaroo court, do whatever, because that one of those losses is on Fromber. It does look, like I said, Fromber versus Bryce Miller, and then it turns over into the top of the rotation for the Mariners, and then it'll go Luis Castillo, George Kirby, and then Logan Gilbert. Not great, not great. I believe Hunter Brown can be pushed up, though, on regular rest to cover Tuesday, but that still leaves, obviously, Wednesday and Thursday. If Eric Lauer does come up, a 40-man roster move needs to happen, and then that will cover Wednesday, and then what? Spencer goes on Thursday?
Would make sense.
Or would that be JV going on Thursday?
I thought JV was the Wednesday start.
No. I was just saying that Eric Lauer could take that Wednesday start. So then
Then
maybe
it'd be JV.
okay.
JV went in front of Spencer in the rotation before all this stuff
Okay.
went.
So that's a maybe. So Chandler Rome does say with regular rest, Hunter Brown could be pushed up to the Tuesday start. So Fromber, Hunter, possibly Eric Lauer, and then possibly JV. And JV would be going on regular rest. Not looking great, guys. It's not looking great. If Seattle had, like I said, any sort of offense, they would be running away with this division, but they are not. I want to say Dylan Moore had some big hits for them. Josh Rojas had some big hits for them. I want to say someone is on the IL that was pretty significant. I'm trying to remember if it was one of the Mitches. Maybe. Let me.
Like Garvey.
Possibly. I don't remember. Hold on. Seattle Mariners. Let's see. Oh, Jorge Polanco. Jorge Polanco looks like he has pulled his hamstring,
Because he
and
beat us up.
that was their second baseman. So that looks like he's having his MRI today, maybe. So he was replaced by third baseman Josh Rojas, and Dylan Moore shifted over to second base. So Taylor Saucedo is reinstated from the injured list, which is one of their bullpen guys. Side note, Taylor Saucedo does not believe that Babe Ruth existed. Fun fact. Infield, Luis Arias optioned. And let's see. Gregory Santos. We won't see Matt Brash because he underwent Tommy John. But Polanco was the one that I saw that I was like, oh, that's all the rest will be there. The known names. Julio Rodriguez is still not erupting. I don't know if that is just he heats up with the weather type thing, because last year he did the same thing, and as soon as All-Star break hit, then he went nuclear.
He
So
used that
maybe it's
All-Star game to do that though. Didn't he? Wasn't he in the home run derby? And
he was in the home run
they
derby.
had that whole thing. It was in his city. So I felt like he used that momentum to jumpstart his season. I don't see that happening again this time. I don't know if he'll even make an All-Star roster this time.
We'll see. That Luke Rayleigh trade looks like it's paying off for them, because Luke Rayleigh has been one of their really good hitters. Luke Rayleigh from the Rays. I don't remember what the trade actually was though, but that left field over there looks like it's a little bit better. So left field, and then Mitch Haniger and Julio Rodriguez being the outfield, and then Crawford, Dylan Moore to be wherever they need him to play, essentially. Josh Rojas. Mitch Garver is their DH, and then Ty France at first. I want to say that they were playing somebody else at first. They were like trying out somebody else at first, and I don't remember who. But apparently Ryan Stanek came into one of their last games and gave up a couple of earned runs. We tip our hats to you, Ryan Stanek, for that. Thank you. But Andres Munoz came in and closed out the game. And Andres Munoz is one of those closers that basically falls over. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Every time. Every single time. He just falls the fuck on over after he pitches. Anyhow. But that is the Seattle series. So Luis Castillo, George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, and Bryce Miller All disgusting pitchers.
George Kirby, though, 5 earned runs in each of his last 2 starts he's given up. So
Hopefully that stays.
Baltimore and Washington tagged him up. And Luis Castillo's given up 2 runs in each of his last 3 starts. They can be got to. It's going to take a good effort all the way around. Gilbert's the one probably that I worry about the most. I want to say that Astros start, he was just unhittable.
He was dealing 8. I want to say he went 8 innings, didn't he?
8 innings, 2
Last night?
hits, 4 walks, 6 Ks, 96 pitches. Could not touch him. So
It was gross. It was gross. But it was one of those where they were not. It was quick outs. Obviously, it was quick outs. They weren't the standard Astros fouling off pitches, making them throw a bunch. And unfortunately, that's where we've gone back to. You'll see the brief flashes.
But in true baseball fashion, the very next start out, he goes 4 innings. He gives up 8 runs. He walks 2 and strikes out 4 to the Minnesota Twins.
Baseball is baseballing. We love that. So fingers crossed, guys, that we can close this gap a little bit more. Show the AL West who actually dominates. I know the record doesn't show it, but it's really us, guys. It really is us. If there was somehow that we could marry the Seattle Mariners rotation with the Astros offense, that'd be amazing. Super awesome. Because pitching wins it all. Pitching wins it all. Speaking of pitching, back of our bullpen, guys. Back of our bullpen has been doing amazing things. Taylor Scott, Seth Martinez, the actual back of the bullpen, the names that you know. Brian Abreu, Ryan Presley, JoshHader. I want to say since like April, like the end of April, literally they've been untouchable. I think JoshHader has sub 1 ERA since the end of April. That will go up just a little bit after the bomb he gave up today. But solo home runs, people. Solo home runs don't hurt that much when you're up. But that's unfortunately that's what he's going to give up is the solo home run. So Ryan Presley as well has been less Ryan Stressley and more Ryan Presley. Brian Abreu has also brought his ERA down. It's, I want to say, down in the mid 3s now. Whereas when he started this season, it's like it was like 7/8, 7/8 in the 7s or 8s. There we go. Words are hard, guys.
It was a fraction of some sort.
Yeah. The fact that he's been coming in and striking out guys and not giving up runs, we love that. And the fact that back of the bullpen that we have expected, that Ryan Presley, JoshHader combo has been coming in and doing work and being the back of the bullpen that we expected. Also, great. Seth Martinez, all the love, flowers, gold stars to you. Taylor Scott as well. Taylor Scott coming in and doing multi-inning outings. JoshHader coming in and giving multi-inning outings. Did you read that article about JoshHader and how he put the stipulations on the Brewers and the Padres before his free agency?
And I totally support it. It makes all the sense in the world. And he spoke to it. He basically said, look, I wasn't going to get paid doing these things. And in order for me to financially secure, what I wanted, I needed to be really strict with them. But now that the Astros have made the commitment to me, I've committed myself to the Astros. I'll do whatever they need me to do. And I love it.
Yep. So I will link that article in the show notes, basically stating that JoshHader would go multi-inning outings for the Brewers. And essentially the Brewers did not want to pay him essentially for that and only cared about saves. And JoshHader said, okay, if that's all you care about and that's all you're going to pay me for, then you will not use me more than three outs. That's fine. I just know that I'm not going to wear out my arm for a payday that hasn't happened, essentially. And he saw the writing on the wall and that was like the most interesting note in that article is the essentially fact that the relievers and the reliever market there's so much turnover in it that there are so many relievers willing to go the multi innings and be used like that before they get paid, that essentially they're going to continue to use relievers like that until somebody steps up and says, not me. But the fact that like both Craig Counsell and it was Bob Melvin last season, right? For the Padres was manager.
Yes.
Okay. So the fact that Craig Counsell and Bob Melvin, like both of those people, this did not come out in either one of their tenures. I will give all the credit in the world because they had the chance to bury JoshHader and they didn't. And I specifically remember one of the games where it would have behooved the Padres to bring out JoshHader for a 4-out
Mhm.
save, and they didn't, and they asked Bob Melvin about it afterwards, and he said that's not how he's gonna be used. Like,
So
nothing about his contract. Yeah.
shout out to Robert Paul Melvin.
Oh, okay. Robert Paul Melvin. He doesn't look like a Robert Paul, but I like
So
it.
I had
I
to
like
throw it
it.
in there.
See, because I call him Bomel in my head. I call him Bomel, so
That is
RP Melvin? Anyways, shout out to both of them for keeping this kind of under wraps and not burying JoshHader. That's I'll give you all credit. That is amazing. And it's sad though, the reliever market, that is what the reliever market essentially is. Because I don't think any other reliever could put those stipulations in before their big contract, right? And get away with it. Can you
yeah,
imagine if Seth Martinez was going to come in and be like, "Nah, guys, I'm good.
I
Like
don't do that.
I'm only going to do." Granted, I understand it's a whole different thing. Seth Martinez, Josh Hader, you can't really compare it. But even if Brian Abreu has amazing gas stuff, and I would put up there with Josh Hader. Can you imagine if Brian Abreu went to management and was like, "Nah, bro, I ain't sorry. 2 innings? I ain't doing that. 6 outs? No, thank you."
And the Astros have
So,
traded Brian Ray.
yeah, immediately. So, I think the fact that multiple clubs took on Josh Hader's contracts, like, stipulations with that, that's
Did not care.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So, wrapping
Some
up, Tom.
things some things to make you feel better about the Astros situation. The Astros are 24 and 29 right now. They started the season of 4 and 11. So if you take those 15 games and you go, all right, they didn't show up. They're a winning ball club minus that. Obviously you can't do that, but things are trending in the right direction. Run differential for the entire division is negative. No one has a positive run differential in the entire division, but the best run differential belongs to the Houston Astros. Also, the Astros did not win at home at all last season, much to the chagrin of every Astros fan. They are one game under 500 at home,
We like
trending in
that.
the
We
right
like that.
direction.
Go back to run differential and explain it for the people that don't understand run differential like they're 5. Namely me, because I think I've had multiple people explain run differential to me, and I get a little bit more each time, but I hear the words run differential and I understand that the higher the run differential, the more positive that number is, the better it is. But I don't understand the difference. So explain it to me like I'm 5.
Run differential is very easy. Run differential is how many runs you've scored versus how many runs you allow.
Okay.
So the higher the positive number means you're scoring more runs than you're giving up. So the
Okay.
Astros have scored 242 runs. They've given up 246. So that's why they are -4.
Gotcha.
To
Okay.
put it into perspective, the Yankees, who lead nope, I take that back. I was about to say they lead the whole world. They do not. The Philadelphia Phillies, with the highest run differential, they've scored 289 runs. They've given up 196 runs for a positive 93.
Gotcha. Okay. See, people, the higher the run differential, the better you is. Better
Yes.
you is. So thank you for explaining that to me like I'm 5, Tom. I do appreciate that. And the few times that I will allow people to talk to me like I'm 5. It's only allowed when I ask, people. It's only allowed when I ask. So all good upward trending signs is what we're trying to let you in on. That's what we're
Also,
trying to give you.
the Astros have played 53 games. 25 of them have been against teams with above 500 records. Basically
Yeah.
half.
You can only play
Where
who's in front of you. We get it. We get
yeah.
it.
So
Whereas the Phillies, not so much. They've beaten up on the teams that they needed to beat up on. But again, you can only play who's in front of you.
the Phillies
The
have only
Angels
played
are
10 teams with a 500 or better record.
yeah, and
10
the Rockies took
games.
2.
10 games. I'm sorry, 10 games. They're 8-2.
Rockies took 2 of those. Rocky said, "Phils, we don't care that you're good. We do not care 1 iota, and we will beat you." It's because Brandon Marsh went and looked at the forest and did a whole hike out there. I wasn't aware. That's beautiful over there. There's like a waterfall and stuff. Just saying. But okay, so we watched the last game on the PSF app today, and I do not know when our next PSF game is, but while I find that, Tom, tell the peoples where they can find you on the interwebs?
On Twitter at Third Coast Tom, like it says right below my face. It is where I do the most of my social interactions. I also have an Instagram at TCTom1. I will occasionally repost what Susie sends. I actually post some stuff over there too, but mostly Susie sends me the stuff and I post it. Don't really mess with Instagram. A lot of people do, but probably should. So TCTom1, come check me out. The PSF app, like she is speaking to, is a new thing that we are working on to try to build, where you basically are watching the game with a group of like-minded fans while you're not at the game. You know what I mean? Instead of going to the sports bar, instead of trying to find a place to meet people, instead of trying to just tweet out the games, you're in a chat room with a couple of media casters like Susie and myself. I would bullishly say we're some of the best. And you're watching the game. We're having a great time. We're talking through scenarios. We're cheering, we're booing, we're drinking, we're having a really good time. It's a lot of fun. When the app is functioning lately, we've had some issues. You're able to go in there and audio or video or both with us to vent or cheer or celebrate. And if for some reason it's not really acting right, there's definitely a little chat space for you to tell us how you feel, tell us what you're thinking, what should happen. We're really good about walking through some of the scenarios. We tried to trade JoseAbreu today on the app. We really did. We tried to find a team crazy enough to do it. We thought we might. Come join us. It's a really good time. Susan's the best. We'll have a good time, I promise.
This is true. This is true. So the next time we will be on is the like us together is for sure June 7th, which is a Friday. And that is versus the Angels. Again, it's a late night game, so grab your drinks because we for sure will be drinking. Tom, you have the Monday, June 3rd game. I may or may not make it to that game. We shall see. I've got a prior engagement that I will attempt to be there, but I will be in a loud environment. And I don't know if I can quiet that loud environment down. So I will try to be there, but Tom will be there Monday, June 3rd versus the Cardinals, 8:10. Again, that is the PSF app. Really fun. Lots of different MediaCaster teams there. Juicebox Blondes, it's Cammy and Cherie, Steph and Rob. I don't remember what their team name is. They're
Something from the
fun.
cheap seats.
Oh yeah, I think View from the Cheap Seats or
Yeah.
something like that. And then there is Brandon and
Eric and
is it
Brian.
Brandon, Eric? Okay, so Brandon, Eric, and Brian. And guys, does Brian still do the streaking thing after they win?
Their show's called Streaking Orange. So
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know when
There
the
you go
last
then.
time they won, but he's always going streaking if they win.
Okay, that's fair. So again, guys, all of the different teams over there. If you don't like baseball, I'm not quite sure why you're watching slash listening to a baseball podcast, but baseball's not your jam. There's football. There is hockey?
Basketball.
No, basketball.
Hockey as well.
There is hockey. I don't think there is soccer yet.
Not yet, but when there is,
Not
I'm
yet.
there.
Okay. So basketball, football, all of those as well for all of the various teams. I want to say there's college basketball over there too. So go chat with like-minded people about the people that you know on those teams. Apparently, I'm not going to become football Susie because every time I go in, I ask dumb questions, but they don't mind. Tom doesn't mind. Tom does not mind about the stupid questions in the football room. We don't mind the stupid questions in the baseball room. So if you are a new baseball fan and you're like, you know what, I want to watch, but I don't really know about, come on with it. Okay. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for this, people. That's how I started. I would annoy my husband with all of the dumb baseball questions. Now I know most of the dumb baseball answers and I can help you learn. Just saying. So with that, we're going to wrap it up. You can find the show all on all the platforms, on all of the podcast platforms, on the YouTube. If you haven't subscribed already and hit the big red button, what are we doing? Why not? Why the fuck not, people? If you've not left a really nice written review, again, what are we doing? Give all of the 5-star ratings. Again, why haven't you? We would appreciate it. Please and thank you. It helps the algorithm. Share it with your friends. If they're not Astros fans, we have a baseball podcast. Not we, like not Tom and I, but Kelsey and I have the Bourbon and Baseball All the Balls edition where we talk about all of the teams. Okay. Share that with them. They'd be like, okay, fine. We don't want to talk about the Astros. We want to talk about the other baseball teams. We do that over there. So again, subscribe, follow all of the things. And with that, we are going to say bye. But first, we're going to say, yay, baseball.